Yeah, I really love this stuff. Like, you guys know I like all kinds of racing, but there is something special about Top Fuel. Something special. So there's something special about Top Fuel cars. Just you guys, like I said, if you haven't been to one of these, you got to make it to at least one in your life because it'll change your life. Alright everybody, well welcome back to the channel, and you may can tell from the background, and you probably saw the thumbnail, we're out at Gainesville Raceway for the 2024 GatorNationals, hanging out here with Clay Millican and his Parts Plus Top Fuel Dragster. And I've been out here for the last couple of days, and to be honest, I didn't really get a good flow to the video, so what I decided to do was kind of just make a highlight reel of what we've seen so far and then document our progress today, where hopefully we go 4 rounds. So this was Ricky's first time seeing a Top Fueler in person, and the first time Eddie had seen one up this close because he was out of town last year for the GatorNationals. A little different right there, ain't it? That's nice. That feels nice. Picked up oh, that's not good when it's got junk. I got a big bag underneath it. All right, well, it was a little hard to tell from the starting line cameras, but at about 500 feet, this thing kicked the rods out of it. And, you know, from the starting line, we can't see much, but just a bunch of smoke go everywhere. And the thing actually, unfortunately, knocked a rod out the bottom of the oil pan, which means that all of that oil that's in the engine is going to start dripping out through the joints in where the belly pan like halves come together. The belly pan under the engine is mostly designed for debris, but if you do put enough liquid in it, it's going to kind of leak around the edges. And to get it back from the top end of the track without leaving a little trail of oil all the way from the top end of the track to the pits, they put an extra mat of absorbent, kind of like a bag underneath it to get it back to the pits. But that's just nitro sometimes, because you got to remember these engines make in the range of 1,500 horsepower per cylinder, and all it takes is one minor defect to cause a lot of other parts to get damaged along with the one that initially caused the damage. Well, we'll look at it a little more once they get it apart, but it looked like a pretty big boom. I have to let Clay collect his wits, and then we'll try and chat with him about it here in a minute. That didn't look good from where I was standing.
It was actually going quicker than, it was the quickest 330.
So talking with Clay a little bit there, they said the oil pressure went up right before it blew up, which a lot of times that's a bearing rotating and closing off a passage like a main bearing, most likely a main bearing. And then when it turns the main bearing, well then that starves the rods of oil by that journal, and then lots of bad things happen, and you end up with a hole in the side of the oil pan. Like you can see the oil dripping out of the very bottom. She's now a ventilated oil pan, but that's nitro.
Don't worry about
so you can see they're putting their pieces on it. They're going to tug the whole block up out of there and put that one in. Grazing. Up out of the hole there. Maybe that's supposed to be like that, I don't know. So there's one that's you can see all the dents in the pan down there. She's a little wounded. Probably more than one. It's got the lifter stuck right there if they couldn't pull those out. So the thing with Top Fuel Dragsters is, since they pretty much rebuild the engines after every pass, they're prepared for everything short of a major crash so that they can get the car fixed and get it back to ready to go for the next round of qualifying or the next round of eliminations. And here we go. When you see a driver shut a top fuel car down and it's not smoking the rear tires, it's typically because they went into tire shake, which is where the tire is trying to get traction too early in the run and it actually violently chatters the back tires, and it needs to be an aborted run. So to start that battle off, we've got Doug Coletta first round, who is last year's champion, and so tough pull first round, but the way everything has changed since qualifying. The sun's out, the temperature has dropped 15 degrees, the wind has changed direction, and the humidity is just hit the floor compared to what it was the last 3 days here. Well, they've only run Friday and Saturday, but completely different conditions, and it's going to make it where it's a little bit of a challenge for all the tuners. So hopefully we get us a round win here, and then we will be on to round number 2. All right, Clay, go get him. He's all strapped into his cockpit, buckled up super tight, because he's about to pull 7 Gs through the middle, and possibly even more when the chutes come out. But these cars leave the starting line pulling 4.5 to 5 Gs, and they carry that out. Then as the clutch grabs a hold of the engine, the G force goes up through the middle of the track. On a car like mine, and most of the other, drag and drive and street type cars that I mess with, they may hit early in the run at 2.5 Gs and hold that for maybe a second. And then from there, our G-force is really hard decelerating all the way to the finish. These guys, their hardest point of acceleration is through the middle of the track, because they need the wings to grab a hold of the car and push the car down into the ground so that the tires can get more traction. And that rear wing on the back makes over 15,000 pounds of downforce at 300 plus miles an hour. It's kind of just mind-boggling numbers with these things, and they just really don't make sense for what all they do. All right, so I kind of missed the beginning of the national anthem here, and this is a video of the flyover, and I'm not going to put just a partial national anthem in because I don't believe in doing that. I intended to get the whole thing, but I missed it. But at least I'm still going to get the flyover here. And it was a pretty huge airplane, and you guys know I'm a big fan of aviation as well. Start of this event. Let's put him in the water. He must have shook early and shut off. 365 at 337 for Coletta. Whew, that'd have been tough to beat.
On the racetrack, you heard him say it stuck a little. The tire sticks, the tire sticks.
going to be an end to today's video, and you know, not the way we want them to go, but it's the first race of the year. Kind of started out the same for them last year, and then you guys went on to win 3 races last year.
That's right.
Which was awesome. So you just never know what's going to happen when it comes to these NHRA races, and it's a fight. Like any racing is really a fight. I mean, you guys know Jeff from Street Outlaws. He's got plenty of fight in him too for all the crazy stuff you're doing.
Oh yeah.
Which I was gonna, I never told you, but man, you were doing some wheeling in Sick Week, like way more than 1,320 feet it looked like.
Yeah, that was just bad choices. Hey, you didn't do nearly as much wheeling as he did. No.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky on that ordeal, but
Yeah, you did.
thank goodness it didn't end up in the fence. But, but anyways,
That was good.
yep.
Yeah, I mean, it was a rough day, you know, but this place was, at the moment, first round, it was a 1-lane racetrack.
Yeah.
100%
Well,
one-lane.
second round, everybody in the right lane won. Nobody
Is that
won
right?
in the
I
left
didn't
lane.
even see that. That was
Yep.
good.
Yep.
Except J.R. Todd, who two-stepped it and made Ron Cap's red light, and he idled down the racetrack for the win in Funny Car.
Really? I
Yeah.
heard that from
Yeah.
here. I was like, that was
Yeah.
a weird run.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
How he did red light, I don't know. Normally when you two-step, you ain't got enough brake pressure to keep it to hold it.
Yeah,
hold it.
jumps forward.
So, but his two-step made Caps go red.
Wow.
And he just idled down for the win.
Wow, I didn't see that, but
Yeah.
hopefully we'll be back for a couple more races this year and see Clay win some rounds and win some races. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to all of everybody. We'll see you guys next time.